Welcome to this beginner financial modeling case study. In this case study, we'll be building together a simple real estate financial model of a prime office asset that is let to single tenant on a long lease. And we'll be building this cash flow model in 7 easy to follow video lessons. So the cash flow model is still relatively simple, but it lays the foundations for the more advanced financial modeling courses. And in those advanced financial modeling courses, you will then learn how to build the kind of cash flow models that you would typically build at prestigious real estate investment firms and real estate private equity firms. So please make sure that you watch this video to the end of this lesson, because there you will see where you can download the financial models as well as all other course materials. And also, if you like this video or if you think you get value out of this course, then please consider signing up for my channel and consider giving this video a like, because it helps my channel grow. So let's jump into this course content. Thank you. So let's jump into the case study. So as I mentioned, we're building a very simple beginner back of the envelope financial model. And when I say back of the envelope financial model, it means a very simple, quick calculation of the returns profile of an asset. And we're building an asset of a prime office building in Paris. It could be any jurisdiction really, but for now, just to make it more real, I've chosen Paris as a location for this asset. So it's a prime office asset let to single tenant on a long lease based in Paris. And for the sake of this case study, here's the asset that we're analyzing. So it's a prime office asset and it is based in Paris. So you can see this to the right here on the map. And this is central Paris, and our asset is based in an area which is called Cœur de France. I'm not sure if I pronounce this correctly. I don't speak French, but it's essentially a new office location on area with new modern office buildings in the outskirts of Paris. And the office building is here. So it's located in the outskirts in Paris. And here's the case study. So in this case study, you're working for a real estate private equity firm called Thanos Capital. And Thanos has target returns of a 20% IRR and a 2x equity multiple. So what this means is that any investment opportunity that Thanos pursues, it needs to deliver at least those returns. Now, your boss has just called you with an investment opportunity, and this investment opportunity involves acquiring a large office asset on a single lease. So that's the office that I just showed you. It's an asset based in Paris. And he wants to have a quick back of the envelope financial model. So instead of building a very complex and detailed financial model, he just wants to have something quick and dirty. So quick financial analysis. And he knows that the vendor is asking for 90 million euros. He thinks that the ask is quite ambitious. Therefore, he doesn't want you to spend too much time on this investment opportunity. And instead, he just wants you to build a quick financial model. But what is important is that this financial model is fully flexible and dynamic, and you have 1 hour to complete this task. So that's a very simple case study. And here are the financial modeling assumptions and tasks. So I'm not going to go through each of the individual assumptions, but the bottom line is that you need to assess how much you can pay for this asset, which is let to single tenant on a long lease. Okay. And for simplicity, so we keep it still relatively simple, we're assuming no taxes, no structure costs, no rent freeze, and no additional void periods, etc. So it's essentially a single asset that is 10,000 square meters big and that is let to single tenant on a long lease. And the task is, well, can Thanos pay 90 million euros and achieve their target return, so the 20% IRR and the 2x equity multiple? And if they can deliver the target returns, how much can they pay so that they can then finally achieve their target return? So by how much do they have to drop the price to achieve the 20% IRR and the 2x equity multiple? And here's an overview of this case study. So this is a course roadmap. This is the introduction, and this course is divided into 7 lessons, starting with the assumptions, then the asset cash flows, unlevered cash flows, unlevered returns, levered cash flows and returns. Then we're improving the formatting, and finally we're seeing how much Thanos can pay to achieve their target returns. So there are 7 lessons altogether to complete this financial modeling case study. And you will gain access to 7 financial models. So there is a separate financial model for each of the individual lessons. And let's have a quick look at the final financial model. So I'm opening the financial model. So this is the final financial model that we'll be building in this case study. And what we'll do is we'll build this financial model in progressive steps. So the first one, for example, is the lesson for the assumptions. And here you can see I've highlighted the cells in red that we're completing in each lesson. So this is the first lesson where we've just added the assumptions. And then if you go to the second lesson, here you can see we've added the asset cash flows. So now I've highlighted the new section in red. So this way you can always see which new sections have been added to our cash flow model. So we built the cash flow model in those 7 easy to follow steps. Each section that we're adding in each of the respective lessons is highlighted via those red cells. So you know exactly what we're completing in each of the respective lessons. And you will also gain access to this short presentation where you will see an overview of this case study, including the financial modeling assumptions and the roadmap. So it's basically the presentation that we've just discussed in this introduction. And then finally, where can you actually download the financial model? Well, you can download the financial model by going to my website. So that's www.ria-edu.com. And then you can click on free resources, and then you go on beginner financial model. And then this takes you to this website here that you're seeing at the moment. I'm currently redesigning this website, so this will look slightly different when you access the website, but it will look more or less similar like this. And then there will be a button that will be similar to this one. And then you click on this button, and then a pop-up window appears where you have to enter your email address as well as your first name. And that's when you can download all the financial models as well as the presentation. So go on my website, click on beginner financial model, and click on download files. And then you will be able to download all the support files, including the financial models for this case study. So it's all for free.